Hey guys, welcome to this episode of the review. We're doing a review. This is the review of Mashin Sentai Kiramager episode 28. I freaking nailed that intro. As always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have
The Cinder Blaze.
my dude. Welcome back. But yeah, we're just gonna dive right into our thoughts and then into your guys' thoughts, of which you had a lot. So, Alex. I liked this episode. Um,
Uh, yeah.
it was simple Kiramager execution, um, and I feel like you know how Kiramager does this thing where like at the beginning of an episode they'll just be doing something completely innocuous, and then suddenly it just becomes the basis for a new form, a new weapon, anything.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been hinting toward this Phoenix for a while, so this is like that final payoff to that. Um, I also
Yeah.
appreciate how once they split the group up, both teams were actually doing something very useful.
Really now, because I forgot what the B team was doing. Like, I was so focused on what Shigeru and,
Mm-hmm.
oh my god, I already forgot Red's name. What Red were, like,
Judo.
doing on that island. Judo, oh my
Yeah.
god. Because, man, I really like Jiro as a Red. Like,
Yeah.
this episode, like, even though it's like a blue focus episode, just seeing the way that Jiro compliments him in this episode and just plays off of him, like, extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, kudos to them.
Oh yeah,
Like,
definitely. Um,
I,
I'll go for it.
that was it for that point.
Okay. I
Yeah,
mean, like, I at least really liked the B team stuff just because they were problem solving. Red and blue were getting an important piece to the puzzle, but that doesn't mean the monster isn't still attacking the city. So, they put their heads together and actually just sort of tried to figure out how they were making the monster kind of invisible-ish, and
yeah,
they were able to confront them, and it led them into I think a long continuous shot fight scene. Um,
that fight scene was really good.
it was great, yeah.
Um, like I love it when they switch it up and let the villains kind of have like a Sentai moment.
Uh
You
huh.
know, like sometimes they have like their own like roll call, and this time like it reminded me a lot of like Loop Hat because they had a lot of these continuous shots.
Hmm.
And you know when they're like passing something around trying to get like the treasure from like one ranger to the next,
Yeah.
they're basically doing that with the iPad. The iPad that was controlling the cloaking
Hmm.
device, which um, for me it felt like a little like the explanation wasn't the best,
There
but
was
they
I was okay with the explanation. What I did not like was that, oh hey, the Cure Majors found me. I'm gonna hide back here and then give the important thing to these minions so they can go fumble with it. Like, obviously the Cure Majors are gonna go after them. Why wouldn't you leave with the iPad? It's
yeah
small. It's a small thing in order to get the outcome we got, but it's
yeah
just really framed weird. Um,
yeah like that's kind of what it felt like for like those two parts. So just like they want to do a certain thing, so they force a plot to be a certain thing. It's
mhm.
like, well, we want them to fumble around with an iPad, so we're just have her give it to the minions, and then we also want like there to be an iPad for them to fumble around with. So, you know, this invisibility thing, it's a cloaking device, and you know the dude in charge of the Cure Matrix space is like, you know what? I think it's a cloaking device. It's not really invisible. There was like nothing to kind of like get to that point, but it's like whatever. Like they didn't dwell on it, which makes me like not hate on it too much,
Mhm.
and they just kind of like jump with it for the rest of the episode
I
because they
mean,
had other things to do.
I argue that it makes sense, like how they logicked it through, because like obviously, because for some reason, every time Sentai and Rider says something is invisible, it's usually also intangible for some reason. You know what I mean?
No, let's just when they go invisible, they dodge really fast.
But no, like w- the thing that always like sticks out to me is when Decade uses his invisible card. Like someone's about to attack him, like right there, and then he uses invisible, and he's not. Sure, he could be
He
fast or
probably did
whatever.
get hit, just like it's like being on the ground, just writhing in pain, slowly gets up and just goes somewhere else.
But no, like I don't know if what they meant by invisible in this context truly meant invisible, because sometimes, invisible means intangible. But this time, oh hey, it was intangible. Maybe it's using something to project or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know. Also,
like
oh, go ahead.
like for me, like when they from the beginning of the episode when they like saw something like kind of like attacking things and um they use like the mixer thing to kind of like spray some like gunk on it and they see it. I'm just like, okay, well, just do it some more and just fight it. Like why was that plot like even necessary if they had a way to deal with it, which was like
I mean,
my kind of like gripe with it.
it's
Like
like,
do they just have like a limited amount of ammo, which isn't a thing in Sentai, I would think, you know?
but like, it was really hard for the like. You're basically taking a it's a leap of faith, right? To figure out, okay, is there a limb there or is there not a limb there? Let me just shoot in the general direction of these buildings with this weapon.
So there's so much destruction that's happening with those guys. Like
Hey, did you know that random explosions were the first step to wow, what is it called? Crystalia's
the
fall?
it's like, oh my god, exploding buildings. God, that reminds me of like my planet dying. It's like, um, it's already happening. Like
Yeah,
we're
it's already happened. Two, of course your buildings are gonna explode if you're getting attacked.
nah. She just expected something diplomatic from. uh, yeah, that was like a little bit weird, but they didn't make it that a plot point. They
Sure.
just used it for Shiguru's kind of like fake crying, which was endearing. Not actually, no, not really. It was like all right. I felt like uh, this Kirame stone reminded me a little bit of the fire dinosaur from Rue Soldier, like the old dude, the one that would like say the
Yeah.
riddles and stuff like
Yeah.
that, like the kind of like because like the challenge is kind of similar. You have to go to like
Mm-hmm.
an elder,
Yeah.
power up and just kind of mess with them, kind of relate to them.
I
But
liked it. I
yeah,
yeah, it was fine. Um,
yeah,
dang, I had a point, but I forgot it. So I
yeah.
guess we'll just move on. Um, did you have anything else before we move into comments, though?
Um,
Oh,
not really. No one really
what'd you think about the
did much.
song?
The song was all right. I felt like I expected something bad. It was decent, and then once they got to the chorus, they cut, and I was like, eh. And then when they cut back with the chorus, I was like, that's just meh. Maybe it's not actually the chorus, and it was. I was like, whatever. At least the ending, like the slideshow, was entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing all
I
those moments
mean,
from Blue.
even during Blue with the wings, just
Yeah,
transcending. Oh my god, good stuff. All right, comments.
sure.
All right.
Um,
So we've got our first comment coming from Dustin Smith, who says, "Alright, so because I was a little late with commenting on the last review, I'm going to do a double take review piece for my thoughts on both last week's episode and this week's episode. Alright, so first my thoughts. Last week's episode, Kiramager is on the fast track to another great episode. First of all, it was a nice touch to learn a bit more about the sports company that Senna proud sponsors. To be honest, I've never would have thought that after the events of Geki Ranger that they go on to become a popular sports brand. Fascinating. I also like that when they referenced Geki Ranger, they showed clips from that series just for some context. It's nice when Tokusatsu series acknowledges that there have been other Sentai teams before in their universe. Senna was magnificent in this episode. My favorite scene was when she ran through the alley market and accidentally stole a container of takoyaki from the seller's hand and saying she'll pay them back later. Super Glue Mask, which didn't on the Ranger wiki, it said he was called Adhesive Mask. Anyways, he served his purpose. The only nitpick I do have is how he's just a recolor of Glue Mask. I mean, what did you want?
Yeah,
That's just what we do here.
yeah, they're brothers, of
Yeah.
course. They look the same.
Yeah, I have two brothers, and they're just me except recolored.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how this works. Um, but I'll certainly give them props for when he shot his super glue and super glued the Kirame bow. And lastly, Yodana continues to be an amazing villainess, and it's a real treat. Although I question why Garza saved her from that attack from Senna is implying that the Kirame bow is strong enough to kill her. Also, what's the deal with Yodana's whip weapon? It seems it has 3 different abilities that change depending on what she uses it on. It powers up Muddites, splits masks into duplicates, and now turn objects into lethal weapons. Run the fast track to victory.
Yeah. For Yodona, like she's definitely like a different like kind of villain, but I think like a lot of my enjoyment comes from like her character design. It just looks adorable.
I mean, like,
uh
in a world where we live, uh, us specifically, with toys that have different settings, like factory setting, uh, try me setting, and regular setting, I'm sure her whip has like a dial that she can turn whatever she wants to do with it. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't have to like think about it too hard. It's just whatever it needs to do that week.
yeah, it's just a magic whip.
Yeah.
Just whatever magic you cast on it.
Yeah.
Boom, there you go. All right. I got the second one.
All right.
All right, and now for this episode called Shigeru Cries. Great name, guys. If there is another nitpick I have with Kiramager is that some series episode titles are the most bland and generic titles I've heard in a Sentai series. Sentai writers come up with better title names. At least next week's title, Illusionary Atomald, sounds better. Dude, no one remembers the Sentai title name, so why would they put that much effort into it?
I don't even know that I knew them to begin with. I didn't. In the back of my head, I guess I sort of knew that they all had different names, but like, no one pays attention to those.
Yeah. Okay, but aside from that little title name, this was another solid episode. First, obviously, we talked about was a new Mars beast called Gomeryu. The mask theme that was combined with was a film projector to create Projector Gomeryu. I'm not sure of what the creature motif is, though. The Mars beast bodies have the theme of animals, with the Shelga being a snail, Ligani a crayfish, Basra a sea bass, Dagomys a water bug. I'm guessing that Gomeryu's theme, since it has wings and the way that its head shaped, it could be some kind of bird, but I'll let the Ranger Wiki explain this one. It was nice seeing Kiramager struggle in a mech battle. It certainly shows higher stakes in the game, especially since we're in the middle of the arc in this series. I like that Shigeru saying words in English throughout the episode, like entertainment and loneliness. Although it was strange that Atomald's deal was that if they couldn't get him to emote, he was allowed to sit on them. Okay. Yodona continues to impress me with that level of. When you said like that sentence and then like Yodona's like right after that, I'm just like, if she ever has like a challenge like that, Yellow's losing that ASAP. Yodona continues to impress me with the level of strategizing in this woman's head, although I'm a bit confused about where she got the tablet that used to cloak the Mars Beast. Next week seems like the Kiramagers are going to be facing off against the demented versions of themselves, along with the new Zord debut, and something that I'm not going to spoil about King Orharin.
Neat. I'm pretty sure she probably just stole, either purchased or stole an iPad from the store and used her whip to make it evil. Also, I remembered the thing from earlier, and now it is leaving my brain.
Well,
I did have a different point though. The show has a lot of. I don't know if it's the internet that has ruined me, but there's there are a lot of weird fetish things here in Kiramager. Like, you've got Pink, who's like the mommy dom. You've got Yodana, who's like the strict BDSM dom. And then you've got this weird crushing fetish with the new dude.
I don't know. I feel like
picking up what I'm putting down? What they're putting down?
Yeah. I feel like the Sentai is a bit more aware of like their older audience members, and they just kind of like throw bones at them. I feel like Yodana definitely is just like just a bone to like all the artists out there. So
oh, I remember it now. The point I wanted to make was I'm glad they didn't have to flash back. Like when Red was like, "Huh, I remember this from somewhere." I'm glad it didn't fully flash back to when Shigeru, was practicing his lines and accidentally got her to cry. I'm just really happy that they're not gonna hold our hands like that.
yeah.
Anyway, we good here?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this episode, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. Tell us in the comments down below what you thought about our thoughts about your thoughts about this episode. And while you're down there, there are links in the description to how you can help support the Black Lives Matter movement by donating money, signing petitions, whatever you do, as long as you do it. It absolutely helps. Same with the video playlist at the end card. All those videos in that playlist donate their ad revenue to the Black Lives Matter movement. So go ahead, click on it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Keep it.
Yeah. See you later.
Oh. All right.
Yeah. You know, like, just thinking back all the Yodona stuff, she was, like, pretty interesting, like, the beginning, like, as a competent villain, but then she, like, quickly went to the backseat, just kind of, like, just letting random crap happen.
I mean, just this episode.